Did you see that fucking thing where Katie was asking, everybody's telling me to get Mac. Maybe I should get Mac, huh? I just like unloaded in the comment section of that.
That I did not see. Now I have to go find that.
Do not fucking go get a Mac. That's the worst fucking thing you can do.
I never understood people's fascination with those. Like, oh, well, they can do everything and they never get viruses. Like, you're a lying bitch, and I don't really want to talk to you anymore.
I think they're mostly for people who don't like or understand computers. And they just want like a little thing, a little gadget that fucking does what a computer does, but without all that annoying computery stuff.
Like, people always tell me, like, oh, I like my Mac so much. Like, you can't even, like, even if you don't play games or something, even certain programs, Macs can't fucking do it. They can only do strict things, certain things. You can't fuck around with them and make them do extra things. You can't change them to do certain other things. Like, it's locked in there. You're not doing anything else. You don't even really have control over your own computer at that point.
Yeah, I was going to ask around about that because, like, I don't play games on computers, so I have no idea what the Mac standing is in the computer gaming world.
Oh, you can't fucking do shit on them. Like, there's a few games that you can play. They're specific Mac ports, but they don't have, like every other game is on Windows. Like, Mac doesn't have every one of those games. They got, like, one or two.
Now, you remember when GameTap came out? It was a fully online library of old school style video games. When I went to use that, like, I was excited about that because I don't like all this PlayStation 3 crap. I like the fucking digital looking fucking old school shit. Like, that's video games to me. So if I want to play video games, I reach for that kind of shit. So I was all over it. When I fucking tried to log on, my fucking video card couldn't process the stuff in it, so I bought the membership and everything.
How did you have a video card that was bad enough that
I don't know.
Play those
the
games?
Point is that I had to go get another video card and then I could log on. If I was a Mac user, I would have had to mail my computer to somebody.
Yeah.
Or just get the next fucking generation of the product. It's just, you're fucked. That's all it is. I mean, if you want to,
they're like $3,000 to $4,000 a piece because fuck you.
Yeah, I went to look at MacBook Pros. They got fucking supposedly the best thing they're for is audio and video processing. And I went to look at one just to see, like, hey, maybe I can make music with one because there's always one on a stage whenever you see a DJ up there. It's always an Apple computer. It's because they have got direct USB, the same thing I was bitching about earlier. You can hook that up to a house system, so it's like a direct line instead of analog. So, like, I went to look at it, $1,500 for the fucking cheapest one they have.
Yeah, they could suck my dick. I'm not paying that.
And then I got a immense fucking sample library. I'd have to convert all of that from Windows audio files into fucking shit that Mac can understand.
Yeah, into a Mac format. And they have their own specialized format for everything. Every fucking thing. You have to convert anything you have. Any Windows file pretty much is like, that. Fucking put it on a Mac? Nah, you can't make it that simple.
Well, the thing with their audio and video files, at least, I don't know about any of the other shit, but their audio and video is supposed to be better, which makes it even more ironic that you can't fucking use Flash on an iPod. Yeah. Fuckers. Oh, question mark. Yeah, I bet you'd really love to watch this video that this fucking 3-page article that you're reading is showing you, but no, because it's just a fucking question mark, because fuck you, Apple.
Flash crashes on here too, so I don't know.
As long as Skype doesn't crash in the next hour.
Yeah, which is also highly possible.
Speaking of which, I like the way that the show started last time, when there's music going while we were talking, so I decided to dig this up. Oh. Fucked up for a second there. Remember this one?
Shit. God damn. Get off your ass and damn.
Get off your fucking ass. It's Mr. Podcast.
Oh, that we're going to stay on our asses.
Yeah. Yeah, this was
Mr. Podcast.
This is the awkward intro to Mr. Podcast.
Where we stumble over each other.
Destiny needs to turn her mic on and talk to, and we'll all just fucking talk simultaneously.
Destiny's not even in here.
Oh, she's not?
No.
What the fuck, Destiny? Well, for the record, we tried. You're going to hear that we tried.
We'll get her back in here later.
in the first couple seconds of the podcast. Oh, well. I need to get vocal samples of Destiny so we can just pretend she's here. Let's get all the vague, like, yes, no.
That's kind of hard to do, isn't it?
For somebody who never talks, yeah. Definitely a fucking challenge. So, as you brought up earlier, we have pretty much nothing for this show because you forgot.
I forgot.
I
did not know what day it was. I woke up like 3 hours ago, man.
I'm not going to doubt the veracity of you forgetting, but you understand that sounds really fucking stupid.
It is stupid.
That sounds really
stupid. It's very stupid.
I forgot all week that I was a member of a podcast. No, it's okay because I wasn't pushing it. Because like I get to a point where like I gotta constantly remind everybody doing anything. So like I didn't really get any stories either. I just started like jotting down little notes and talking points and everything. I wanted to, because you said that maybe we should do shows without news stories or whatever. I think the news stories make it feel kind of official. You know?
Yeah, it'd be better to get more of a mix though instead of just relying on.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to push for all along. Is like a nice, healthy kind of 50-50. But when you said that, it made me entertain the idea of a show with no news stories, like completely on purpose. Like we did that with Dimitri and Christian, brother of Nutson. And it seemed okay. So like every time I had a weird idle thought, I just jotted it down in my notepad. It's mixed in with stuff for my stand-up comedy act. There's a thing in here, the very first thing in here, I can't remember when I wrote it. It says, sensuality, cock, nose, pencil sharpener.
What the fuck is
That's the way I take notes. No, I was going to go on this stint, like if I ever had the balls to go do stand-up. I'd be like, what's up with being sensual? You know, like people get sensual. I'm going to do Jerry Seinfeld. People get sensual and sexual mixed up. Sensual just means you like to feel stuff. I mean, it could just mean like I could like spread my ball skin out and you poke your elbow through it. That's a feeling, you know. Who can say that they've felt elbows poking through their ball skin? Or maybe like I could just stick my pee hole in your nostril and just grind my dick back and forth like it's a pencil sharpener. That is a sensation that you will never feel anywhere else in life unless
You'll never forget that again.
Unless you make a habit of that kind of thing. That would be a shitty thing to get a sexual addiction to. You have to explain yourself to countless fucking hookers. This thing I like to do. My name's Corey Knutson.
How wide would their nose hole be after?
No, the whole point of it is that it's purposely too small. Like find a chick with a really small nose and just like try as hard as you can to force it.
Oh my god.
It's like when you're done, you got like a ring around your fucking
She's gonna need fucking plastic surgery after that.
It depends on if any projectiles come out while you're grinding up in there. But yeah, you'd like, I don't know what angle you'd have to get. Maybe she could just twist her head. The point is you twist the tip of your dick in a nostril like it's a pencil sharpener. And that's sensuality.
What, are you going to be like fucking, you're going to tie yourself to a fan on top of the ceiling or something and just do that?
That is a good plan. Or the dominatrixes.
Get one of those wheels.
They have that wheel that they fucking spread eagle tie you on and spin, and you just stick your nose out. This whole thing has gone on way too far. This is how we open the show. It's sticking dicks in fucking noses.
Why else would anyone listen to us? This is why we're here. We need to grace you with the dicks and noses and pencils and sensuality.
That's what sensuality is. I mean, when they say you're sensual, like people don't understand words they say a lot of times. And like, if I was to do a stand-up comedy act at any point, it would be about people's misinterpretations of language. Probably like at least 30.
Go down the George Carlin route.
Yeah, fucking sensuality. It just means like you like to feel stuff. You're like, I brought this up before, but when you go into like Home Depot or Lowe's or something, and there's that big bucket of fucking bolts, and you just stick your hand in it, like, wow, look at all the bolts, and you like let them run out of your hand. That's a sensual act. You're doing it to like feel what a bunch of bolts feel like.
Like when you slap a cactus, that's sensual, you know?
Yep.
Like,
what if someone wants my entire foot in their vagina?
I think there's websites for that, Keith.
That would be an experience for both parties. Because one, like, when are you ever wearing a bitch like a slipper?
I don't
When does
think I
that
want
ever
to
happen?
experience that. That might ruin vagina for me forever. Like, I don't think I want to see a woman give birth, because then I would just, like, mentally, in my mind, I would not be able to do anything for a few months afterwards, just imagining that every fucking time, just like, that thing came out of there, I can't do this today.
Yeah, if it's like your wife or something like that.
Yeah, I don't want to see that shit.
I've seen it on a video a couple of times, but I don't think I could handle it.
You ever seen
What's up?
Afterbirth? Oh my god.
Yeah.
What? Fuck?
The whole thing's really gross. The whole thing's like, even the clean way that they do it, the C-section, they still cut your gut open.
Yeah, they're slicing someone's stomach open.
Like you're a
That's not
fucking
good.
tauntaun on Hoth shit. Luke Skywalker's gonna come out there.
I mean, the baby was warm until you got it out of the body. Now it's gonna freeze to death, you assholes.
Oh, Lord. I hate when that happens.
What, when your kid freezes to death when you take it out of the body of its warm mother?
That's one of the stories we did last week with the chick who died, and the Catholics are like,
Oh, yeah! That does tie in with that, doesn't.
no, but we got some leftover stories. They're floating around here. What about that bitch at Applebee's? She said, I give God 10%. Why do you get 18? I'm a pastor and shit. I'm going to put this smart-ass remark on your fucking bill and write a 0 on your tip.
How does she get, like, where does she send this? Where's the fucking address at? Like, Heaven, USA, Greenville, Alabama? Where the fuck does she send the money orders?
Well, she was eating at Applebee's at a certain hour where they automatically include an 18% gratuity. And she got her...
They said that she had like 5 people in the party, and if they have anyone over like 3 or 4, they have to add a
I don't know.
mandatory
I don't know how
percent.
That works. Like, she can write it off at the end of
Like,
the
if
year or
there
something
was-
like that.
They said if there was like 1 or 2 people, they wouldn't have done that. But since there was like 8 people and they were all eating a bunch of shit, they just added it on.
Yeah, it's fucking... Yeah, it's if it's a certain size table. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Certain size table. Like, there were conditions that made an 18% gratuity kind of reasonable or whatever, but she tried to cross it out. She tried to fucking say, I'm going to take the 18% back off of the total and write a lower fucking total. No, she wrote the same fucking total, which is funny. She just crossed out the 18% tip and wrote the same fucking total that included the 18% tip. So it's kind
Is
of...
she too stupid to do math? Did God not bless her with that ability?
She's too stupid to understand what her own fucking religion is. I'm sure she can't handle math. Sure she
Her
doesn't
mountain god did not just beam the numbers into her head. It didn't work out.
She knew she wanted to be a cunt, but she didn't quite have the expertise to concisely be a cunt because she didn't know how to subtract 18% back off of her bill because she's a stupid fat whore.
Sounds like my sister.
You know, there was a fucking story like a couple weeks after that. It was like, oh, I brought shame to my church and I apologize for my behavior and all this shit. No, you're just fucking sorry you got caught. If that picture was never posted on the internet, you would have fucking still been laughing with your stupid fucking fake Christian friends about how you duped the fucking waitress, even though you didn't, because you wrote the same fucking total.
What most people apologize for. That's why most people apologize. They don't fucking care if it doesn't affect them. They don't feel sorry. They don't care. It's just, oh, someone caught me. Gotta go and apologize.
Excuse me, ma'am. With your gratuity included, your bill comes to $34. Fuck that shit. I ain't paying no 18% gratuity. I'm only going to pay $34. Fucking idiots.
I don't get it, man.
Stupid.
How is someone that stupid? Like, oh, well, they added money onto my bill, so I should subtract it back out. Like, nah, let's just put I don't...
If you're not we live in a tipping culture. I hear stories about Australians coming over here because nobody tips in Australia. It's not part of their culture. They call it tipping culture. It's like mostly an American thing. But
yeah,
if you're from here and you understand, you're American, been raised all your life, you already know. If you can't tip, you technically can't afford to go out. There's no reason for you to go. A tip is part of going out. You know what I mean? They don't force you to do it. It's just a common fucking courtesy. You can choose to be a soulless, fucking careless piece of shit that should get run over by a fucking truck. You can choose to be that if you want, but fucking, you really shouldn't. You're in the wrong if you do.
Have you ever seen that clip from Reservoir Dogs where they were talking about tipping?
No,
Tips for the tippers.
I watched Reservoir Dogs through one.
Basically, what the guy was talking about was he was expected to give a tip to a waitress at the diner, and he was telling them, like, well, she only filled my coffee cup 2 times, and we've been here a long fucking time. I expect a waitress to fill it 6 times. And the guy said, oh, well, what if she doesn't have time for it? And, well, too busy should not be in a waitress's fucking vocabulary. And also, why don't we feel the need to pay someone at McDonald's? They're serving you food. They might not be doing it the nicest, but neither's every waitress. But you feel the need to tip every one of them. But the person behind the counter at McDonald's, fuck them. They don't get a tip. Just because society says, well, you shouldn't tip those people. Tip these people.
Fill my coffee 6 times?
Yeah. If someone's not great, they're doing their job okay, like they're supposed to, what makes them deserve a tip necessarily?
If you have special conditions like that, you should lay them on the table so everybody knows what the terms are of your fucking transaction you're about to partake in here. Because what I was saying before was the common knowledge part is everybody knows that you should tip, and it should be around 15%. You're going to start adding 6 cups of coffee or whatever.
The thing that I have problems with is mandatory tipping. If they added on, like, I can understand when there's 6 or 7 people eating there at one time, sure. But when there's, like, 1 or 2 people and they add it on automatically instead of, like, leaving it up to you whether you think the person did a good enough job in order for them to be tipped, I mean, it's kind of fucked up.
Well, a lot of people don't fucking, they don't use the system that way. You know what I mean? That's the pie in the sky, like, idealistic, oh, everybody should follow the rules because that's what the system's here for. Like, yeah, if everybody honored tipping the way it was supposed to be, that's what it would be. But I can't count the number of people that I've given great service to that just said, fuck you to me, basically. They'll just take their credit slip and hand it back to me after I bring them their fucking food 20 minutes after they order it. Like, there's a disproportionate amount of people that should have been satisfied customers that didn't fucking tip me because they wouldn't have anyway. And those are the people you have to watch out for.
But just think about it. Like, in Australia, when it's not a norm to tip, they don't get offended when someone doesn't tip them. They don't take it as someone isn't satisfied with their job. That's our society that's made it so that, oh, well, if someone doesn't tip me, then I must not have done a good enough job. Well, no, they might just not want to tip. They might just not be overtly impressed. Like, they're okay. Like, yeah, you did a good job, but I don't feel like spending extra money. Some people are like that. It's not, I don't know.
Well, they shouldn't use that service then. Because, okay, there's this thing.
But that's every service if it's expected of us.
Yeah, because that's how it's set up. Life's a bitch. Life's a bitch, but the rules are out there, and there's certain things you can do where you're an asshole if you do them, no matter what. And stiffing somebody who gives you good service is one of them. I'm sure in Australia, since it's totally not a part of the culture or whatever, that those waitresses and waiters get paid a higher wage. Those fucking drivers that deliver shit probably use company vehicles most of the time. They probably get paid a decent wage.
So instead of people trying to force this whole mandatory tipping thing, why don't we try to push it towards a system more like them, where instead of having to rely on tips for a regular wage, you can raise the wage to higher so that people don't have to tip. We could try to work towards that, but people don't really want to do that.
You know how it is when you try to institute money type changes in this country. There's a bunch.
I know. I'm not even saying it would work. I'm just saying it would be better to try to do that instead of trying to force this tipping thing.
You know, if they raised wages for people, they would instantly raise prices. Because I've seen how people run businesses. You know what I mean? They would take it out on the customers, and that might. I don't know. I don't know anything about economics, but I could see that hurting sales at least for a good period of time. You know what I mean? And those people that call and order and don't tip, like, my boss wants their money anyway. It's not really of my boss's concern whether they give me some money on the side just between the two of us, you know, exclusory of them or whatever. They want that customer. They want that sale no matter what. You know, if I get stiffed by that person, oh, well, they fucking called. They're in the area. You got to take them their food, even if you know they're going to stiff you. But I gotta warn some of you fucking people. Some of you are getting your shit and getting your service fucked up a little bit, on purpose, even by good people that don't spit in your food and don't do, and I never spit in anybody's food because I never know if a child is going to be at the house and I'm going to have to fucking kill myself.
That's the only reason. The only reason.
Oh, yeah. Because, dude, kids are so happy to see a pizza guy.
You know the fucked up part is, I would, like, even if there was a possibility of their kid being there, I don't think that would cross my mind. You're a better person than I am.
Well, even the people that aren't going to spit in your food, they're still not going to bring it first. Like, say they got 2 orders in their car, and they know one of them's going to be a dickhead to them. Who do you think they're going to go to first? Yeah. That's basic. I mean, don't get mad if your shit comes late when you treat someone like shit on a regular basis. It's true. You really get what you pay for. That kind of principle doesn't really work itself very gracefully into the tipping culture. But you do. You get what you pay for still. It's the bottom line. Fucking between me and that person at a certain point. At a certain point, I take the product and I walk out the door. And it's up to me what I do after that. There's shit I'm supposed to do, but who's going to fucking be right on me to fucking tell me to do it? You know what I mean?
I'm going to go eat your fucking pizza in the parking lot, bitch. See ya.
Let's say you ordered 50 minutes ago and somebody ordered like 15 minutes ago. If I got to take both your orders at once, I'm taking the fucking person that just ordered, Even though yours was in the queue for a lot longer, I don't give a shit. You won't give me nothing. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Go to hell. I want to put your shit on top of my car so it's cold as shit by the time it gets there too. No, I'm not going to do that.
But isn't that another thing, like, with the tipping thing, like, now we have, if you don't tip, we're going to give you less than good service. You know what I mean?
That's basically what I was saying.
That's kind of tipping's fault.
I don't know. I don't know. Is quagmire the proper term for it? Whatever it is,
I've never used that word in a sentence properly.
Whatever it is, it's very well entrenched. It's from a time undoubtedly where people were, on average, a lot more honest and honorable as human beings. And nobody suspected that we would degenerate into a society of untrustworthy fuckholes who act like 8-year-olds.
I just think we should expect the people that are providing the job to pay higher wages than expect the public to make up for it. That's all.
That's tipping culture for you.
I'm sure that Christian would tell me that I'm a heartless bastard and that I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, fuck him. You see that thing where dude tore him apart for an hour?
I couldn't. Like, I sat through that video for the hour, and I'm still not sure what was being discussed.
I don't like that guy. That Mentam.
I don't like him either. He's fucking annoying.
He's just... he's one of those nihilistic type of people where it's like, oh, I'm just being real. Life completely sucks. Like, whatever. If you want to think that way, that's fine. And that there's a lot of people that agree with you, that's fine. I have no problem with what you're doing. I'm just not going to look at it myself. Unless you're trashing somebody who I think is asinine, which is fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah.
My God. I ought to put a link to that video.
I just don't see what the big deal is. Like, someone thinks that birth is a good thing. Someone thinks that birth is a bad thing. What the fuck is what are we arguing about here?
There's people here that have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. We have an uppity, I guess, self-proclaimed ex-friend. His name is Christian, and he gets real offended about stuff, and he lashes out at weird, inappropriate times, and thinks his feelings are golden, and the world should stop for him, etc. Just basically acts like a little bitch. But yeah, it's funny that he could act like such a little bitch in that sense. And then somebody who's just saying, hey, maybe you should stop having so many kids, humanity. That's just their honest viewpoint. And he's like, fuck you. Antinatalism sucks, and so do you.
You should go kill yourself, man. Like, that's a little bit extreme. Like, he didn't even say, like, oh, well, people shouldn't have kids. He was just like, I don't think, like, that's not good. And then all of a sudden there's someone telling him to go kill himself and drink. Like, what the fuck is that?
Go fuck yourself at Mendham. You're a piece of
what?
shit.
I don't understand. I really don't get it.
I don't understand it either. It just seems like some people like to just trump up reasons to attack other people because they
having babies
them look
is
cool
good.
and powerful.
Having babies is good, so go kill yourself. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I don't really have like a formal opinion. If you want to have babies, have fucking babies. We're fucked
I don't
anyway.
really care.
If you don't want to have babies, then don't have babies.
I don't necessarily think that humans are a bad thing. It's just at the bottom line they're a bad thing. I don't believe that. Humans can do good things.
We're certainly not in short supply, you know.
Yeah, that's true. But
we're not in a frantic race to keep from blinking out.
People don't have to have 10 kids per person, you know? Like, that's not necessary. Like, that's one true thing. Like, we're not at a point that we need you to have 7 kids anymore, you know? We're kind of full up already. Like, if you want to, that's fine, but we don't need them, you know?
We never did, really. I mean, the formal reason for that was because if you had 10 kids, like 4 of them would die, and you're just playing a numbers game to have enough workers in your fucking farm so you can trudge through your miserable life for another 35 years tops.
Yeah.
That's all it was about. Fucking seriously. There's like 7 billion people on the planet, so if you don't have kids, it's not a big deal. Well, there's plenty. There's a bunch of them. There's a lot of people that say, oh, if you don't adopt a kid that's already in existence, then you're some kind of asshole. Because if you have any inclination to take care of a child, we already have tons of them.
People piss me off when they say, oh, well, abortion is morally wrong, but giving my kid over to a fucking orphanage for the rest of their life where they're probably not going to get good parents or any good people in their life. Yeah, let's do that. That's the moral fucking position to take on this situation. That shit pisses me off. Oh, hey, let's not save this fucking kid the shit that he's gonna have going through life just with no fucking parents, no really... Well, there might be good people, but probably not very many in an orphanage, I would guess. Because I've known some people in orphanages, well, not in orphanages, but they were in foster care and shit, and they don't have good stories most of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they want to contribute to that, but they don't want to save the kid from that because murder is wrong or some stupid shit that they want to think because they can't think outside of the fucking this little box that they have.
Too many kids without the fathers running around acting all girly like. Fucking, I think that's where this tough guy shit comes from for the most part. People are little bitches who can't just man up and fucking, you know, absorb some strife in their life. No,
yeah.
Their ego is so marshmallowy that if you fucking poke it, they will explode. And that's where this kind of shit comes from. Hold up. Where is it? Woo!
New shit.
My mama left me.
Oh, God.
I grew up in the ghetto. My mama had 15 kids. Sorry, that sucks. I can't even fucking continue that anymore for the joke.
What the fuck was that? I thought that was recorded for a second.
Yeah, I was recording it.
Well,
definitely went into the show. That's what you mean.
No.
That's a bunch of people who don't want to take care of their kids. That's where we get new cultures from it.
That sounded exactly like one of those fucking songs.
Hey, you want to hear the opinion of someone else whose father wasn't around, so they're a complete fuck up? I'm talking. My father wasn't around. That's why I'm such a cynical bastard that wants to make fun of other people in my position.
My father was around. Why am I such a cynical bastard then? Where there's a flaw in your logic here.
Onision's mother fucking raised him like a little girl, and now he makes videos about breast size. So let's listen to Onision's fucking opinion about breast size, because I've been saving this one. Hold on. What does Onision...
breast size on the female body.
I'm sorry. I got to pause right there. Does he not sound like the queerest of queers, the fruitiest of Fruit Loops in the fruit basket? Yes.
What do you think about it? What do I think about it? What does society think about it? How do we as a human species feel about...
How do we as a human species feel about it?
Breasts.
Breasts.
Obviously, men really like breasts, right? I think.
Yeah. Most of.
No, I'm fucking repulsed by them. Yep.
I want little fucking mosquito bites so I can just punch them till they're fucking concave like a satellite dish. Anyway, continue, girly man.
It's very important. Most guys
that
want
made no
girls
sense.
with big boobs,
Important.
Which is really superficial and shallow to me.
Superficial and shallow?
Who said that big tits are important to every man on Earth?
Well, big tits are technically important because, hey, big titties can feed my children. That type of thing. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but he's trying to put off the thing that every man on the planet just looks at tits and goes, oh, that's my main fucking thing that I'm going to date them based on. If they have big tits.
Yeah. It's completely cultural. That's what it is. It's all based off of fucking decisions. Like, there's nothing intrinsically good about jugs. I just choose to like them because I'm a superficial, shallow fucking asshole. Anyway. Let's hear more about it.
But before I get into that, I want to take this opportunity for everyone watching, everyone who's female, and I guess males. I don't think males can get it, but females definitely do this.
He's going to tell people to rub their titties. Regularly.
Males can get breast cancer. Is he fucking retarded?
Breast size. Do I think it matters? I don't think it matters whatsoever. And the reason is because I'm a personality kind of guy. Like, I'm interested in
he's fucking
who I'm with, not what I'm with, like a woman with big breasts. That's what. Who is personality. It's what they can change about themselves easily. What they have chosen to be,
They can change their breast size pretty easily. It only costs a couple $1,000s. I mean, if you're going to change your personality with a therapist, the price is comparable. So
I can't get I don't think males can get breast cancer. What are you, fucking stupid? We don't have breasts, do we?
Males do get breast cancer.
I know. Keith, do you have breasts? Because I'm pretty sure that I do. I mean, they're not fucking tits, but yeah, I have a breast plate, it's right there.
I really have nothing there, but there's no protrusion of any sort.
If you have nipples, you can get breast cancer.
It's just a nipple with like a mustache. That's what's there. It's nothing. It's antimatter. Is on my chest.
You've got like a negative fucking supply of tits.
But if I got a good personality, Onision would still fuck me. Let's hear more about
it's
what
something
he has to
that
say.
They weren't just given randomly, like body type and facial features and all that. They weren't just given it randomly. They weren't just lucky. Because I don't want to be with someone who's just lucky.
You fucking fake fuck. He's saying okay, here's the conditions that he's laying on the table. If it's something that you were born with by chance. It doesn't have any effect on his situation about you whatsoever if he's trying to decide if you're sexually attractive or not. The only things that he even registers, the only thing that will make his tiny pecker, his tiny carrot in his pants stand up is shit that you can change culturally, like that's personality and...
That's a thing we have now, isn't it? Like you're supposed to be ashamed to say, oh yeah, well, I look at how attractive someone is based on one of the factors of if I'm gonna date that person. You're not supposed to say that now. You ever you know what I mean?
Somewhere there is a girl that looks like a goddamn garden mole. This looks like a hideous fucking rodent. Just one eye way higher than the other. This hunchback. She's the nicest fucking bitch in the universe. She'll bring you fucking coffee and your fucking cigarettes and your slippers and your smoking jacket every night. But she's fucking horrendous, hideous. And you'll never go anywhere near her.
You're not allowed to say, oh, well, I can't stand the sight of that person. So it's not anything with their personality. It's just I wouldn't do that. You're not allowed to say that because, well, then that makes you a misogynistic asshole pig, and you should be ashamed of yourself for ever having that notion in your head.
Well, he's shallow how? He'll date a fucking 800-pounder if her heart is true or whatever. That's why he keeps going and finding little cute girls on the internet, just overlooking all the fat ones like a hypocrite.
Well, the whole Onision kind of seems like someone that wants to put off himself as oh, well, I love women. They're so awesome. I want them to have more rights than men. Well, he doesn't think... Well, he might think that in his head. I have no fucking idea. But just the way that he... Oh, well, men are the problem. Men are the ones that are evil, that kind
I never pressure my girlfriends into losing weight until they look like they have AIDS. just to suit me. He had a fucking pact with his ex-wife. Okay, none of us are ever going to get fat. This is a condition of our entire relationship. One of us gets fat, that totally justified loss of all interest because I want a certain kind of person. You know what I mean? I want what I signed up for.
Dude, I fucking hate skinny girls. Like, really skinny.
They get
hate
too
that
skinny.
shit.
I don't like when they get too skinny either. It seems like a fucking kind of white knight thing to say, but it's some people's honest opinion. Serious.
Like, what? I like someone that is maybe, like, 140. Like that. Like, not fat, not skinny. In the middle. I like that. I don't like fucking, you can see my rib cage. Like, that's disgusting, man. I don't want to...
If they get down below a certain body fat percentage, they stop menstruating.
No.
They stop menstruating. They stop having their period. Stop talking over the end of my fucking sentence, asshole. Shit.
Bitch.
Anyway, we were watching a video. I forgot about that.
To be with someone who's worked hard for what they are. Who has something to show for their personality. So in that, like, think of it this way.
S. Here's how you say the letter S, faggot. You should have a really fucking easy time doing that because faggots love to do that. It's not
We should mention that to Mr. Repsion as well. His subscribers.
Mr. Podcast giving fucking basic speech lessons to closet homosexuals all day. Anyway, continue. Soundbite right there.
I want a woman with big breasts.
I want a woman with big breasts.
I don't want a woman with any size of breasts. I just want a woman with,
He wants a woman with Schrodinger's breast. A theoretical, like, she wants a box around her fucking midsection. So maybe there's big titties in there. Maybe there's little titties in there. So you have to imagine it as potentiality. There has to be both types of titties in there.
How big would you make the boxes? Because, like, if you make them too big, it might give it away.
That is a good point. Well, let's just say we'll make the box big and bulky just for the sake of it, just because that's how the box has to be. So, like, that removes that whole element. So, yeah, you never know what you're going to reach in there and grab. That's what Onision wants.
She has. But if I want a woman with big breasts. And the person who loves me more than anything, the person that's perfect for me, doesn't have big breasts. Then forever our relationship...
You're going to be disappointed!
This just comes across to me as, if I say that I like women with tits, then I'm an asshole and people are going to say that to me. So I'll say personality.
Oh, I lost.
I'm not.
Hey, continue that last sentence. I just lost you for a second.
It's like he's ashamed to say that, I like girls with tits. Instead, he wants to say, I just like them for their personality. Because I'm a nice guy, I'm emotional, and you should all look up to me because I'm so much better than you.
I mean, to say that, okay, maybe I like big tits, but this girl who's perfect for me has fucking little mosquito bite, little ant mounds in her shirt or whatever. You can't tell me that there's not going to be a minuscule fucking part of you that's not like, I wanted the big tits, And I'm not saying it's dominating your whole decision-making process or whatever, but... You can't deny that part of you altogether. This is going off without a hitch. No, titties just totally became an abstraction to me.
That's what I'm saying. It's like now we have that whole section of society that's just they suppress those things because there's a bunch of women that say that they're misogynistic assholes if they don't, and if they like tits, then they're horrible people and should not be alive and should be castrated.
I mean, personally... The mosquito bites kind of freak me out. I have witnessed them a couple of times. Like, they just make me feel weird. You know what I mean?
Like staring at a 12-year-old boy or something?
Something like that, yeah. Like some kind of, like, Asian dolphin or something. Like, I don't know how to deal with it. And that's just me. I like a good mid-sized, like oranges, maybe something like that. They don't have to be fucking melons. That's
I've got used to work with, so I'm pretty happy.
I'd say my personal stance is just like have something there. I don't know, like if it gets bigger, that's a bonus or whatever. Like the bigger it goes, whatever. Unless you're like one of those ridiculous people that needs a shopping cart, like a fucking triple Q or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, we're making an Amendham style response to this video. We're taking two words.
I did not want any part in this. I was dragged here, and I'm just doing it.
Hey, we're getting quality show out of this. This is brilliant.
That's true.
Going to be tainted by knowing that I have that preference. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're never going to feel good enough. Never. Guys, I want you to put this in perspective. What if...
Yeah, you gotta lie to her. You got if you're secretly disappointed with your girlfriend's titties, don't tell her that shit. If you decided like, okay, all this other stuff outweighs the titties, women are not fucking. They're not like emotionally solid enough as a whole.
Yeah,
like,
they're just gonna focus on that one thing.
They make it so you have to fucking lie to them, and they get to lie to you, and you have to reinterpret it. And that's not women rules. You're trying to like go by like, oh, Scout's honor. That's not how women fucking work.
I dislike the whole thing with a lot of women. Like, if you ask them a question, they'll answer a different question, and they'll act like they answered the one you asked. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm not lying. I'm just, like, not saying anything. That whole type of thing.
None of them fucking just talk straight. It's like teeth.
It's annoying.
You can't get it out of them. You're supposed to figure shit out by yourself, because if you don't get them, and then they tell you the shit later, and fucking, oh my god, I had no idea that you had so many problems with all this shit, and then fucking, it just completely catches you off guard, and then you start wondering in the future, like, if I do this, is she going to have a problem with it? And I could ask her if she has a problem with it, but she probably won't fucking tell me the truth. Anyway, yeah. She's so fucking emotionally dishonest that I can't even fucking do the right thing on purpose if I fucking put effort into it. Yeah, I gotta magically stumble into it.
Like, you ever have a girlfriend that emotionally manipulates you and she doesn't even fucking realize that she's doing it? It's just how she's been doing it for the rest of her life.
I've been accused of doing that myself. I've been called manipulative.
And they do it.
My battle cry is, and always has been, just fucking be honest with me. Just fucking tell me what you mean. If you're thinking something, say it, and make sure the thing that you're saying is actually what you're thinking. Just don't inject any bullshit into the situation. That's always been my fucking motto with any of this shit. Just be straightforward. Say shit. And I get called the manipulator. I get called manipulative.
You know what's sad, Keith? You're never going to have that person. Well, you might, but it's going to take a while.
No, that's what it is, man. Maybe I'm just going to be a fucking 70-year-old guy who's all by himself, just fucking hookers, because I can't deal with this fucking non-straightforward fantasy land shit. Anyway, talk some more about titties, faggot.
Her girlfriend wanted a guy with a big penis.
Oh, big guy with a big penis.
Once he found out that she wanted a guy with a big penis, and you have a medium...
My penis is fine.
Penis,
maybe he's drawing some conclusions from his personal relationships.
Fail repeatedly because it keeps messing with your head, right? Now you know how girls feel, right?
No.
Feel good enough.
No, I have no idea how girls feel. That's the point of my rant.
I have never been turned down because my dick is too small. That's never been a problem for me once in my life. Has it been for you, Keith?
No.
Has that ever happened?
The only remark that I've ever heard about my dick is, you're a good size. You're a good size. That's not somebody going, oh my God, or like, wow, or something like that. But, you know, that'll work for me. That's fine. You're a good size. Cool. I've heard that twice. So, fuck it. My head is fine. I know how manipulative fucking little cunts can be. Just telling you your dick's small on purpose so they can get inside your head and fucking control you while calling you manipulative.
Plus, why the fuck would you care what some bitch that is not going to date you because your dick is too small? Why would you care what they think? Why do you... Oh, your dick is too small. Okay, I'm not dating you anyway because you're fine.
I want nothing to do with your giant cavernous vagina that you need a fucking giant fucking log to bang the walls of.
That's what I don't... Like, with a woman, why does he think that a woman's not strong enough to go, okay, well, that guy is an asshole that just wants me for my tits anyway, so I don't give a fuck what he thinks. Why does he have the opinion that they're too weak to do that?
Her pussy is probably so fucking wide. So wide to the point where she's like the Liberty Bell with legs. You gotta walk all fucking weird, and welfare children just falling out of there. It's like umbilical bungee jumpers. They just stop above the ground like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
I could look out my front door right now at 11:47 at night and see one of those people just walking around. They're everywhere, man.
She doesn't. When she goes to the gynecologist, she doesn't even need to get on the stirrups. He just pulls out one of those things that fucking auto mechanics have, where you slide back and forth on your back, and just gets a fucking spelunking light. Oh, there's your fucking uterus. You're still there. Okay, see ya. Hello.
Would you like new car scent or would you like wood pine?
Maybe those are the girls that want the big old penis. I don't know, because
they
need it. They need it to even feel anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, talk, faggot, talk.
Something else that they're not exactly what you want.
Oh, now my voice is getting low.
That's where when you say, I love you. I love everything about you. You're wonderful.
Speak up,
it's
homo.
It's actually legitimate because you're a personality person.
Oh, it's legitimate.
You love who they are, and so everything about them becomes perfect. Their breast size, their hip size,
everything.
Their waist.
Perfect. You don't try to force them to lose weight, and so a series of fucking pictures of them looking more and more emaciated and depressed pops up on fucking the internet for everyone to see. You don't have a fucking succession of your last 3 girlfriends being displayed like that, do you? You still there? What in the fuck just happened? I think I lost Aaron. Yep. This is an interesting moment in Mr. Podcast where Aaron is completely quiet and can't say shit in the midst of us listening to Onision fucking try to talk about how he's the white knight of the titty world. Aaron, where the fuck are you? God damn it. Ladies and gentlemen, seem to be suffering some technical difficulties where I just look like an idiot who flails around with nothing to do. But anyway, I guess until Aaron comes back from wherever the fuck he went.
Gorgeous to you.
I'm just going to listen to...
You're a legit person.
Oh, you're not a legit person if you have any fucking natural tendency towards any kind of titties that fucks with your judgment in any way, no matter how minute it is. You're not a legitimate person unless you're just totally fucking titty PC, No fucking little ape-like part of you that just wants to bat the big boobies around. You should rise above that, or you're not legitimate. You're not a fucking
focused on what matters,
faggot in Washington.
Fades. And that's a beautiful personality.
Oh, beautiful personality.
So yeah, that's how I feel about breast size. Big boobs, small boobs, whatever boobs.
And you can't see right now, but he is looking so fucking pleased with himself as he says this. Yeah, that's how I feel about breast size. Because all you people can just shove it. Oh, he's fucking going to the bathroom. He doesn't fucking make a formal mention that he's going to the bathroom. If you're on the air and you got to go to the bathroom, say you're going to the bathroom because I didn't have the text thing open. Motherfucker. He must be taking a dump. Wonder what kind of dump he's taking.
Nigger, you just turned the video on and I was already going to do it. I'm not going to interrupt you to go and say I'm taking a piss.
Well, just wait till the next little snippets. We only let 3 seconds of the video play at a time anyway. But anyway, he just said that's what I like about breast size and looked really pleased with himself or whatever. So,
like I said, he wants to be morally superior, so he's going to suppress what he actually thinks and say that he just likes the personality.
Well, naturally. He's a better person than all of us.
Yeah, he's Jesus.
Fucking faggot Jesus.
You guys want to fucking see the second coming of Christ. He's already here. He's in New Mexico.
Hey, why do you think people hate dubstep so much? Nick never wants to get on this podcast, but I would love to have him in here because he's somebody who fucking hates it. I want to hear a rational... He's the one person in this universe I could get a rational explanation about this from.
I don't personally dislike it, but I did watch a video where it was... you ever heard Foamy the Squirrel?
Yeah.
Well, he just made a video where it was like... people dislike it because it's like they take the same general loops and they all use the same files, like the same sounds, and they mix it. Like they move it up or down or faster or slower or whatever, but it's the same sound in every one. So it's basically just different variations of the same thing. I don't
think it's necessarily the same sounds.
I'm not saying it is. This is just what someone else explained to me.
Oh, my brother described it as speaker porn. Like most forms of electronic dance music are just making speakers do shit that they're using their full capability range or whatever. And like it's kind of an engineer based culture in this kind of music. So like there are differences in the sounds that are made in the music, but I don't think a lot of fucking people who aren't versed in how to model a synthesizer or fucking even know what that means. I don't think they're really going to be able to pick it apart as good as...
I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you got the people who are into cars. This is how I always explain it. Like, people who know what every type of car is because they have a vested interest in something going fast and they think it's cool and they see utility in it. So they learn all these technical aspects of that thing that they're so into. And I think there's a lot of that in dubstep. It's just seeing how far you can push bass, see how crunchy you can make fucking low mids and stuff like that. And like it's a lot of producers and engineers just one-upping each other and going, wow. You know what I mean? That's what keeps elevating it over and over again. But a lot of people seem to hate it. They just can't fucking stand it. It's just, it pisses them off.
Well,
and I've been in that situation where music pisses me off. I'm not sure what it is about dubstep that does that to people.
I would say a lot of people, like, they're just going with the counterculture. You know what I mean? Like, there's something that's popular. Oh, I don't like it because it's popular. There's a lot of people like that. I'm not saying that, like, every person that hates it is some shallow asshole or something. No, but there are legitimately a lot of people that, oh, well, that's popular. Fuck that. I don't want anything to do with it, you know?
That is true. You got those hipster motherfuckers. That's what that is.
And that's a lot of the population right now.
I don't want nothing to do with it unless it's obscure.
That's basically a lot of the people we have right now. I think we might need another mass extinction, Keith, to wipe the hipsters off the face of the planet.
Well, as far as that whole element is in music, you know, people saying like, oh, when shit gets too popular, I don't like it anymore. There is a point. I've seen it happen with a couple of things where something will come out and I'll like it. And then it just gets the market just gets flooded. It's everywhere, and it's just... And
it just turns you off of it.
Yeah, you got these bros fucking getting into it and just fucking whoring it and just... you associate it with different things.
That's that. You start to dislike it because of the people, not because of the music. It's like the people that also like it, like you don't want to be associated with them, so it's like, fuck this, I don't want this anywhere near me anymore.
I'll use a non-musical example. Rick James Bitch. When Rick James Bitch came out, upon first beholding it, I laughed my ass off. I was like, this is fucking hilarious. I don't know. I don't even know why it's so funny. It's just a skinny black guy with a wig on slapping people. Just to me, that's fucking hilarious. I was like, this is one of the funniest things I ever seen. And then over the course of the next like 5 to 7 months, I wanted to drive to fucking Dave Chappelle's house and shoot him in the face. You know what I mean? I didn't want to hear Rick James Bitch for another... I didn't even like his show pretty much. I stopped watching his show and everything just because all these stupid little fucking yo boy redneck motherfuckers. Oh, Rick James, bitch. Even Dave Chappelle didn't like walking down the street anymore. He couldn't finish a stand-up show without people yelling Rick James, bitch in the background. And
it's like, what did he say? He went to Disney World with his kids or something? And fucking Mickey Mouse said it to him.
I didn't hear that part. That's hilarious.
Rick James, bitch.
Oh, Rick James, bitch.
I can't do Mickey Mouse.
It's a celebration. Enjoy it. See, but now, fucking years later, I can laugh at it again. But there was a point there where
it's back in style, man.
It's so much of it everywhere. It's just like, oh God, get the fuck away from me, please.
Well, yeah, of course that happens. But to dislike something. Like, the music itself, to dislike the music solely because it's popular, that's fucking retarded, don't you think?
Yeah, it's pretty retarded. Go ahead.
Well, if you're turned off of it just because, like, there's a bunch of stupid people that happen to be there at the time, that's okay. Like, you're turned off by the people, not the music. But if you legitimately say, oh, well, this music is bad because so many people like it, that's fucking retarded. You're not using your brain properly.
I used to be like that when I was younger, a little bit. I mean, I didn't take it to ridiculous levels, but I do find myself, you know, trolling through things from my past and being like, hey, I actually like this. I didn't like it when it was around, when it was the thing or whatever, but just looking back on it, it was really not bad. And it's probably an element of that is from how shitty everything is now.
I've had
back with fondness, the crap of yesteryear.
Like watching commercials from the 80s. Just fucking commercials for no reason.
Those things are so hokey all the time.
Yeah, like, you know, when people were watching those in the 80s, they were just like, man, I fucking hate these. But then people go on YouTube to watch commercials.
From the 80s, yeah.
It's amazing.
The computer commercials and the fucking Nintendo and Atari and all that shit, they're the fucking most hilarious. Look what our thing is. capable of. It's the most sophisticated thing ever invented.
Sega Genesis does what Nintendo fucking don't.
Listen to the beautiful sound. Pew, pew, pew. Like, what the fuck?
We've now got 1 megabyte of RAM.
1 whole megabyte of RAM. For your fucking... You can load a picture in only 10 minutes.
Yeah. I still remember the fucking dial-up sounds and all that shit. Like, that's ingrained into my head now. Whenever I think of a computer, it's just dial-up. Anyone born after, like, what, 2005? They don't know what dial-up even fucking sounds like.
I remember in the 90s waiting for a picture of Kurt Cobain's blown off head to fucking load line by line, and I'm just getting more and more angry. I'm just like, I just want to see his head blown off. What the fuck? Sitting here for fucking 30 minutes to try to see this shit with my morbid curiosity.
Imagine the people that actually cared about him, and they were just like, oh, I want to see the pictures online, and like every fucking line that loads, like a little bit more of their heart just dies on the inside. I
called my girlfriend at the time and laughed. I was like, he's dead now, because he tried to kill himself like a month prior in France. He took too many pills or something. You remember that? Like he had the death scare before he actually turned up dead.
Yeah.
I had this little girlfriend. She was like 15. I was 16, and she's one of them people. She was one of the people that filled the malls with the Kurt Cobain white T-shirts for the year. Just one of them people that just takes it to just stupid levels, just dumb levels of fandom where you're like, what the fuck are you doing? It's a song. It's a good song. Yeah, just shut up. And she did that to me with Nirvana a little bit. Nirvana and Hole, which I never liked in the first place. Turn that fucking noise off. Hole is my dubstep.
I don't think I've ever really listened to Hole too much.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna end the show with a Hole song tonight.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, we're gonna have some Hole playing in the background. It's gonna be glorious. That's actually gonna happen in about 10 minutes. I won't forget either. It's gonna be. I gotta figure out one of the really just horrible. There's one where she starts off singing really horrible. It's just her voice and the guitar. And she's like, that's what we're going to close the show with.
Why?
Just for the hell of it. So, if this show does get popular in the future, we got a lot of copyrighted shit in here. If somebody wants to backlog our shit, we're going to have to take that stuff out. I won't give a shit if they want to get rid of the whole song. I really don't fucking care.
Fucking cut our voices out. We come in like in a cut clip. It's just, oh, yeah, what? Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
We were talking about Hole. I named my band after my cavernous vagina from fucking Billy Corgan and whoever else being in there at the same time.
That is kind of an odd... Let's name our band Hole. That won't make us sound stupid at all. We'll never get fucking joked about. Okay.
They were going to name their daughter after a type of food. It shouldn't have been bean. It should have been hot dog because somebody threw her ass down the hallway. Oh!
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's how you know a joke fucking is success, when somebody goes, oh, God.
God. That's all...
Anyway, what's another random thing? We got time for one more random thing from Keith's pad of unpreparedness. Who's your favorite stand-up comedian?
Probably George Carlin.
George Carlin?
Or David Cross, one of those two.
Like, of all time, George Carlin and David Cross? Really?
George Carlin, yeah, I'd say that. Or maybe Cheech and Chong, they're okay, but I'm not sure about all time. I don't really have, like, favorites, It's kind of just, like, a bunch of people that I like.
A lot of people say George Carlin. I've noticed that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't really watch. Like, I watched 3 or 4 comedians. I watched Bill Engvall once, and he was fucking not funny at all.
One of those, the blue collar comedy guys. One of those guys is funny.
One of them, probably, yeah. It's just
the
Bill
old
Engvall's
perverted one with the open collar, and he's always got the cigar, and he's always talking about how he gets thrown out of bars and shit. That guy's funny. The rest of them can go fucking sucking the Larry Cable guy. Suck a dick.
Like, Bill Engvall, I was listening to him tell jokes, and, like, they were okay, but I wasn't, like, openly laughing at them. I was just like, yeah, this is okay to listen to. That kind of thing, where it's just like, yeah, this is kind of interesting. It's not funny, but it's interesting, I guess.
There's a lot of people that are clean comedy or whatever. I don't get into it as much. It feels too...
it's fucking annoying.
It's boxed in and filtered and stuff like that. It's like a haiku. A haiku's not really a poem. It's just a fucking formula. Here's all this shit you can't do, and here's a little bit of stuff you can do. Like, who wants to... That's not creativity.
Yeah.
A lot of people say you should be clean because it's harder to be funny that way, and therefore it's a more... kind of honor-worthy
That's retarded.
accomplishment. Yeah. Like,
hey, you know what we should do? We should not give our army guns because it makes it harder to kill people that way. So that's why we should do it. You know?
I want to see Kobe Bryant play a whole season with a pair of shoes that gives him a club foot on purpose.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
Fucking retarded.
Just because that's honorable, and if he really scored all those points with that thing on, then you can really respect his skill.
I don't care if people respect my skill. I want to say, fuck. God. What's so...
Yeah, you got to put on the club shoe. It's offensive. It's offensive if you don't handicap yourself.
If you say fuck, you have to cut off your arm. It's a new rule enacted by the FCC.
Ah, Jesus. I don't know who... I wrote the question. I don't even know who my favorite stand-up comedian is.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it's kind of hard to say, like, who your favorite of anything is, really. It's kind of just, like, a group of people.
I say Joe Rogan or Louis C.K., one of the two. It's pretty close toss-up between those. I like Norton a lot, too, but, like, I noticed I like his on-the-fly, in-the-moment stuff that he does on Opie and Anthony better than I like his stage show. I did laugh during his stage show.
I always like random more than people that script things. I don't know why. It's just it's better.
Crowd work and all that spontaneous shit like that. Fucking that stuff's kind of cool in a show. But like a radio show, it's just constant crowd work and spontaneous crap.
Like
he's really good at it. Did you listen to the thing where he goes off about the Bears? About how stupid they are?
I don't remember.
Oh, they deserve to die and shit like that. Dude, it was great. He didn't fucking write that ahead of time. Just somebody talked about bears getting trapped. And he just started going off. Like, I want to get a fucking big stuffed bear and burn it. Just kick it over just so it lived for nothing. Like, that's awesome.
I don't know, just like, have you ever listened to a bunch of different shows from the same comedian and then you pick out the parts that they've rehearsed a lot because it's the exact same thing every time? Like, that shit, when I catch it, it really, like, after I catch that, like, I'm just kind of like, it's getting stale after this point. I don't think I'm going to hear too much new shit.
Well, it's supposed to look like a guy just getting up on stage and talking. That's the illusion. It's just a guy with a microphone like, hey, I'm going to talk to you. And then, like, I'm going to magically say a bunch of funny shit. Like,
yeah, I know. Maybe that's the annoying part to
me.
Yeah,
it's like seeing the rabbit in the hat when you know that they've already written it down ahead of time. And like, everybody knows. But, like, you're supposed to forget about that part. So, like, being reminded of it, I'm sure, is kind of annoying. But I
just kind of stop after that point. Like, whatever.
But they get on stage and they talk, like, in a matter-of-fact, in-the-moment type of way. Like, this is just stuff I'm saying. And then they get off of that stage and they got to get on another stage and, like, have the same moments all over again. It's got to be a real head trip. There's a lot of people that come up with, like, they're biting off of the George Carlin formula, come up with a new hour every year. That's still only an hour a year. That's you repeating yourself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's why I don't think if I did want to do a comedy routine, like, write one down, I can't think of fucking anything that I could do consistently every time. Like, it for me, it has to be spontaneous almost every time. I can't write things down or think of them ahead. It just doesn't happen with me. Maybe I need someone else to write shit down for me. I don't fucking know.
Well, they write it down and then they do it. And then if they see that they can add a certain little thing or here and there, they fine tune it. They use the stage throughout the year to fine tune whatever it is. And then they fucking record all the tested products into a special. That's generally how it works from what I've seen. So it starts off a certain way, but it doesn't necessarily end that way. It's not flat out repetitive. It's really repetitive, but it's not like verbatim, like, oh, I must get the right tone every time. And like you're a telemarketer following a script or whatever. There's kind of an art to it, I guess. I'm not going to even pretend that I know how to do it. It'd be funny as shit to get on a stage somewhere.
I imagine me getting on a stage and just like saying a bunch of stupid shit. It would probably be funny for that one time, but then I would not be able to do that again.
Oh, I heard bombing is horrible. That's pretty much what I would expect to happen.
Yeah, that's what... There. Don't expect good things.
Like, because you're up there like, okay, these people are supposed to find me funny. That's a bold fucking... Why is that so bold? That's a very bold thing to say, like, you're supposed to find me funny. That's the arrangement here. You're going to find me funny. That's a very brave fucking thing to put out there. And if you don't make with it, you look like...
Yeah, then they're going to call you on it and then fuck with you.
And you look so stupid that you go in your car and shake. And I'm never going to be a stand-up comedian again. That was a horrible experience.
You know what the way to recover from that is a lot of the time, though? Just play off of the audience and fucking insult the shit out of them and just joke them.
Just be Andy Kaufman. Just bomb on purpose and fucking make it as awkward and painful as possible.
And that might actually make it funny.
That's Andy Kaufman's whole career. He would just like, you remember Tony Clifton?
No.
He would dress up in a fake nose and he would look like a fucking total jackass, and he would get up and just make the crowd hate him as much as possible. He would just try to whip everybody up into such a fucking angry frenzy for nothing. Just like blue balls everybody.
Hey, where are you from? Kempville? Oh, that place sucks dicks. Never want to go there again.
Yeah, it was a bunch of shit like that till dudes want to fight him and stuff like that, and that's what he considered a success. You know, he wasn't there to entertain you. You were there as his toys.
That is a pretty good formula. If you have no expectations other than just to fuck with people to entertain yourself, that would be really fucking easy to do, because I can entertain myself in so many ways when there's other people involved. And just an endless amount of ways to fuck with them. I can think of some shit, man.
You better have a good exit strategy.
Yeah,
you have your car waiting for you
outside. Right next to the door.
Oh my god! When he died of cancer, people were like, "He's just fucking with us." That ain't even true. Motherfucker's a liar. He's gonna come out laughing at. No, he's really dead.
If there is a heaven, he would be fucking laughing his ass off of people saying that.
Well, he's held in very high regard as some kind of pioneer, it is kind of funny though. He did take the whole kind of like stage and spectator dynamic and just totally fuck it up.
That's like future comedy. Like, it's not funny at the time. It's just funny when someone watches it back like a year or two from now and they understand what's going on.
Yeah, that's so much of his stuff was like that. That's everybody called him a genius.
That's crazy, though. He's just like, yeah, people are going to be watching this in 10 years like, this is hilarious. Like, who the fuck thinks that? Nobody should ever have that fucking forethought.
And if you do end up that smart, you'll be too smart. You'll be so smart it's cancerous and you'll die. Yeah, basically. And
cancer is hilarious.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you can wrestle women.
I've got my fucking what is she? She's my aunt. And I went over and I was talking to her and smoking a cigarette, and she tells me, oh, you know those things are gonna kill you one day. That's gonna give you cancer. And I was like, yeah, whatever. So like not more than a month later, she calls the house and she was talking to my mom like, yep, I got breast cancer. And I was just like, wow. So the person that doesn't smoke cigarettes got cancer. What does this lesson teach us? And whenever she calls now, I'm just like, did she get her tits cut off yet? That's my reaction when I hear
Jesus.
Did she get her tits cut off yet? Like, that shit's, like, I'm not going to say that to her because that would be fucked up. But, like, that's hilarious to think about. Like, I don't want that to happen to her or anything, but just the idea of it. Like, yeah, did she get her tits cut off yet? I like fucking with people, even if it's in fucked up ways, you know?
Hey, she'd be really good at archery. That's what the Amazons did. They'd cut one off so they could turn to the side and have room for their elbow. So they work that bow and arrow. Watch it. Don't laugh too hard. You're going to end up with an arrow in your face. She's going to end up getting real good at it. She's going to listen to the podcast and swear her revenge.
She got her tits cut off yet?
Revenge of the One. Well, hey, she can still date Onision.
Yeah, because he doesn't care.
And with that, I believe the show is drawing to a close. Who wants to do the outro this time? Do you want me to force you to do the outro this time so it's all awkward, or you just want me to do it?
If I say no, then you're gonna make me do it anyway. So
honestly, it could go either way. I really don't give a shit.
I'll do it. This has been Mr. Podcast. Suck my dick and see you later.
Basically.